Hi, Mitt. Gang's all here. T-Rex. Steve, where you going? Hey, Mitt, where you going? You want to come with us? T-Rex, you want to go out? It's Saturday. Last Saturday of July. You too. Please report to the slider. Come on, let's go. Slowly he comes, step by step. Are you ready now to do this? T-Rex is always ready. You gonna jump 3 times? Yesterday someone said you only jumped twice. 3, yep, and out. Very good. Don't want to disappoint the audience. Oh boy, it's Saturday and it's almost chilly outside. What do we have? About 67 degrees and there's not a cloud in the sky. Well, then why isn't it blue? This is the thickest, lowest wildfire smoke of 2025. There's Hull. You can barely make out Hull. Let's pan over. Cannot see Winthrop. Cannot see Everett. Cannot see the towers in Boston 11 miles away. I do have on my noise canceling microphone. Good morning, Howes Neck and Quincy. So we can zoom in and out without changing the audio. The flag shows a fresh breeze from the northeast. Why can't we see blue in the sky? It's like when you're in a boat and you're going along and you look over the stern and you see the water sucking up against the back of the boat. There's an eddy that occurs, and the front that went through New England yesterday has an eddy of smoke coming out of south central Canada. Very visible from space this morning. There's our front off to the south of New England with a warm front coming back at us on the west side, and that plume of smoke from Montreal to Boston, and then even thicker out there in the Gulf of Maine. That's an eddy on the backside of this front being sucked in from central Canada. Talked all week about how this was going to be a very thin layer of cool air, an inversion, high pressure system coming at us this morning, and it is. It's a 1020 high, and we're still in a relatively warm air mass, but there's an inversion, so the cooler air, it sinks down at the surface and mixed down the smoke from higher altitudes of the sky, and that's where we are right now. And I got to go over and see. I'll talk about the regional roundup and the temperatures this morning. The Northeast Kingdom of Vermont for the win with the chill, and Island Pond, I think it was a temperature of 47 and a dew point of 47, and very thick smoke also reported. Josh in Montgomery, Vermont, reporting the same thing with the smoke. And then down here near Boston, it was still 65 to 70 on the thermometer, but the dew point has fallen through the 60s into the 50s for most of New England. But like I said, it's shallow and it's going to be short-lived. So this does make it the 4th nice Saturday in a row after that streak of so many not so nice Saturdays. But it's not a dry weekend in New England. And also from the Josh in Montgomery department, he sent this graphic last week reporting on the last dry weekend without a trace of precipitation in Burlington, Vermont was in 2024. The longest streak of weekends with at least a little precipitation on record. And I think I was only counting more than a trace when I keep talking about how the last dry weekend in New England was February 22nd and 23rd, 20-something weeks ago now. And it is going to rain again tomorrow. Here's the national radar. And once again, it's how many mornings in a row well, it was Pennsylvania and Virginia with the flash flooding until about a few days ago. That did return yesterday. But now in the last 5-6 days, it's always been Missouri, Iowa with the flash flooding this morning and another batch of rain over Minnesota. So you have kind of the refreshing summer polar air pushing into New England, as Don Kent would always say. And then you have the subtropical front across the middle of the nation and another front, another push of polar air coming into Minnesota that's not going to make it into New England. Because after today, we're going to have a warm front come through here and it's going to turn sticky again. Let's go to the smoke forecast. We haven't used this one in a while. And you can see those waves of smoke coming across central Canada and this last one kind of dipping right down into New England. And it looks like it is going to gradually lift out. So improvement in the smoke in the sky and lower elevations today. A lot of people reporting they can smell it. I guess I can smell it a little. It doesn't feel healthy. You can feel it on your eyes. And so the smoke forecast is going to be improving, but as quickly as the smoke moves out, the rain's going to return tomorrow. And there's the tomorrow morning map with a warm front and a low over northern New York. And that low is going to generate some downpours, especially in western and southern New England. The state of Maine likely remains mostly dry. Oh, let's count up yesterday's rain, or let's look at the damage reports from yesterday. And the Severe Storm Prediction Center did a good job saying eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England. Dozens of reports of trees down and in parts of Rhode Island. Let's see, in eastern Massachusetts, was it Swansea with the lightning starting to fire, and Somerset with the flooding, I think, flash flooding on Route 24. Well, Swansea and Somerset are on there. And a lot of trees down in Rhode Island and Connecticut, and right near my house, too, in eastern Massachusetts. But I saw the storms go around. Boy, is it going to be a lengthy and more with me trying to predict what's going to happen in a half hour, which I was pretty much unable to do all day yesterday. Nowcasting, weather doing as it wants. And here are the precipitation amounts. And once again, I think I'll start with this, where this is an issue. 0 rain in southeastern New Hampshire. Seems to be a donut hole where it just will not rain in southeastern New Hampshire. We had a little bit last week that was a pleasant surprise, but the guidance did a good job saying it wasn't going to rain in southern New Hampshire yesterday. There was some rain in far northern New England, less than a ½ inch, and then it was really focused, not where the NAM said. NAM, remember, a couple days ago had New York and Connecticut, but instead it was parts of eastern Connecticut with over an inch, and Warwick, Rhode Island with 1.84 inches of rain for the wind yesterday, except, look at this, we have weather watchers, Kate in Dartmouth, also around 1.85, Dartmouth, Massachusetts, and then east to Cape Cod. The thunderstorms did survive the trek, but less than 0.2 of an inch of rain for most of Cape Cod. And, oh, I haven't checked my rain gauge, T-Rex. We got to check our rain gauge. What else should I show while I'm talking about this? Nothing, just show the walk. There's Steve and Steve's rock. Bird feeder has no seed in it, so I don't have to worry about losing a baby bird right this minute. And here is our rain catch, 0.11, okay? And now let's go to the rainfall forecast. Let's use the NAM high res. Did an okay job. You never get exactly where and exactly how much, but so what's going to happen tomorrow, there's a wave on a warm front coming back at us. So while today we are pleasant, near 80 degrees with comfortable air, tomorrow the warmth is going to try and come back at us, and there it is about 10Z is 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, almost the entire length of western New England, rain crossing the Hudson River, making it over to the Connecticut River. Then it starts to break up through about 18Z. That's 2 p.m. The heaviest rain now would be in scattered showers, maybe some thunder, but nothing severe. Southern New Hampshire, the Boston area again. And note, it's fallen apart almost completely north of Portland, Maine. So camping in Maine for the win this weekend for the least amount of rain. And Cape Cod also got a pretty good dose there, and not everyone's getting it. And then it's off and it's out tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and we'll fast forward to 2 p.m. on Monday. There's no rain coming down, but look what's right in the middle of New England, the 576 thickness. So if things were right with a westerly wind, and if the sun was out, that would mean temperatures of 90 to 96 degrees. And I think we're going to see temperatures exceeding forecast values beginning on Monday, because that is a warm front. Quantitative precipitation forecast before we get to the other stuff. How much rain? And when you see the lighter blue, that's getting toward a ½ inch. Darker blue is getting toward an inch. And note, it's piling up much more in the Green Mountains than the White Mountains. And in Maine, it's hardly anything. In southeastern New Hampshire, once again, mostly missing. And you get some almost purple. When you get to almost purple, you're at almost 2 inches. And then the almost yellow would be in eastern Pennsylvania. This again goes out. It's only going to rain tomorrow, so I went faster through it so I could get to 2 p.m. Monday. That's the last frame. Make sure it matches up. And parts of eastern Pennsylvania have the threat for more flash flooding of 2 to 4 inches. And again, what I said was that's the leading edge of warmer air. And much like yesterday, I am going to use the GFS meteogram because I think it has a better depiction of what's going to happen, even though we will show the Euro models because the fronts match up on the Euro nicely, and I like to be consistent. If I can find consistency, which is really not happening once you get past tomorrow. But anyhow, this GFS shows the temperature near 80 today, the dew point in the 50s, and then tomorrow the temperature comes down and the dew point comes up, and that makes a little more sense. Yesterday it had us in the mid-60s, tomorrow low 70s with the rain, and the GFS is only putting out about 1/10 of an inch of rain. The Euro is actually putting out 1/2 inch of rain for Boston, so it's a moving target in that department. And then the temperature goes up, and It's going to be close to a heat wave starting late Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday, with temperatures pretty close to 90. The GFS gets us in the 90s where the Euro didn't, and I'd say with that 576, the GFS has got a better handle on the high temperatures. So hot and humid with a dew point near 70 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then again it's another Thursday, Friday front. It's going to bring in much cooler air, lather, rinse, and repeat. For 1 week from today, we may be rivaling record low temperatures. I do not see any record low temperatures out there right now. I think I wanted to show something else, but I can't remember what it was. So let's go to the Euro day by day. And again, the placement of these fronts and the low pressure systems are pretty similar to the GFS. It just doesn't work out on the mediogram in Boston. So here we go. It's a 1022 high. Well, it's actually a 1020, weakening to a 1018 high, going right off and out of here today and tonight. And then you have this air, this battle zone that we saw in Missouri and Iowa coming over New England tomorrow. I don't think we're going to get flooding. I think we're going to get some pretty deep puddles and not a very nice Sunday. It's going to turn sticky again. Windows get closed, air conditioners come back on. Wind from the south could be gusty in southern New England. And it does still show a low forming south of Nantucket. So even though NHC says there's no chance of any tropical cyclones in the next 7 days, I think that it's going to be close there, southeast of Nantucket. It won't be any big deal, it'll just be kind of a spectacle and keep the wind from the east around Cape Cod for a short time. And then we get to Tuesday, and now we're looking at the fronts to the southwest. It's a subtropical front, and a front to the north is more of a polar front coming at us from both directions. It's a fairly fast and fairly flat flow there with showers and thunderstorms returning Tuesday into Wednesday. Southern New England close to 90, northern New England close to 70 at the Canadian border. And so that guarantees with a chance of a thunderstorm each day. And then yesterday it was, wow, Thursday night. Now it's like, interesting, Thursday night. The system that looks so heavy for Connecticut is trying to track a little further south on today's run. But that is a serious batch of rain passing south of New England, south coast Thursday night, Friday. The new cold air advection comes in, and it's nice, deep, cool air. Unlike this shallow cool air this weekend, that's going to be deep cool air, the kind where Mount Washington goes back down into the 30s next Saturday and Sunday. Both look good. It looks like a nice, strong high, and upper level flow is confluent from Canada. And then it goes out now Monday to August 4th is 9 days out there, 234 hours. And technically, I call it the 10-day forecast. And it shows the high pressure system going off to our south with the 570 line coming back, and that would be the return of warm air very quickly after next weekend. It'll turn warm to hot again. So my prediction is the waves are going to continue as they are with the 582 going back to South Dakota at that time on that Monday, and that will be warm to hot air coming at us again in week number 2. And meantime, it was hard to focus because at my feet, T-Rex is just sitting here and barking because he's wrapped around a chair. Somebody did some entertaining here last evening. T-Rex, if you come this way, come over here, this way, and around here, then you can go over there. Now you're free. And what are you going to do? What are you barking at? Boy, do I have a lengthy and more. Steve's like, yes, can I help you? Yesterday, may I sit in your chair and put my feet on your rock, Steve? Oh. I like to not be in a hurry on Saturday and Sunday. I don't have to change out the house today, but I'm going to have to change it out next week. So I'll be in a real big hurry next Saturday. And then today, not a lot to do. I'm going to probably take 4 hours to edit. So did I mention what time it was? I don't think I did. It's about 8 a.m. Saturday, July 26th. And there's so much and more yesterday, watching the clouds and trying to predict what was going to happen. Ultimately ending up with a beautiful sunset, but it was kind of painful getting there, trying to grill and host in the backyard when it just would not stop raining. Thought it was done raining about 3 times yesterday. All right. And T-Rex had a rough night. He was up most of the night. So hope you're having a pleasant Saturday, and this dirty air is not affecting you too much. Planes are taking off toward the east and turning south at low-level easterly flow. All right, and more from yesterday. 11 a.m. Really feel the Florida feel here. Heavy air. Can't believe how little wind there is with such a powerful front coming at us. It makes for a challenging sail, doesn't it? It looks like the summer camp, sail camp, having a Friday regatta. Let's see what you learned this week. How to sail in a light variable wind. Just enough southwesterly breeze out there, I think. Yeah. Just blocked by our trees right here. The weather does not look that threatening at this time, but we know it's bubbling up. So there's just enough wind up in the sky to create low-level shear. The lifted index is -6 degrees Celsius. meaning that a parcel of air that's going to lift is going to warm and be 6 degrees warmer than its environment at around 18,000 feet, which causes it to continue rising, and that's where you get towering cumulonimbus. So next stop will be the TCU, towering cumulonimbus. Why don't we just check what that sound is right now down there. It's Jim on his excavator, fine-tuning. Oh, I just pray that we don't get a huge downpour, although can't wait to test the new swale. This was not part of the original design. It's an addition because they've watched 2 different ravine floodouts in the last 8 weeks. And it's 85 degrees, and I was just still editing. Oh, here's the sailboat race. Editing Steve capturing the bird yesterday, and the bird was released, and Steve has just relocated to the shade. You're coming inside now. And so, I think that was the beginning of the race, right? Just past 1 o'clock, 93 degrees in Boston and Plymouth, dew point 72. And the National Severe Storm Prediction Center has issued a mesoscale discussion saying there's probably, 60% likelihood of a severe thunderstorm watch being issued here for southern New England. So it's time for another time lapse. What's that say? In the sun, 96 degrees. Steve and T-Rex are sleeping. It says 89 on this thermometer, a little more accurate, I guess. And we've got the cumulus building. And this clear sky to the south. Alto cumulus, maybe some Castellanos. And the heavy clouds have been slow to come, so it's just been a wall of clouds, but now we have the cumulus bubbling on the northern edge of the sunshine. The young racers are still out there. I've been hearing the start and stop horns. All right, let's do a time lapse, or 2 or 3 or 4. Hopefully this doesn't take over my whole day. Start with a view down the beach. Boater came right into the shore, set up the umbrella. It had been kind of quiet in the wind department. The Mass Concrete team back to work, putting some more rebar down. And is that you, Pia and Leif? Playing around on the turnabout? Is that what you call it about? I forgot what the name of that sailboat is. Anyhow, you're going to be in the time lapse for as long as my camera doesn't blow over anyway. Looks something like this. How's this? To watch the sky for a little while. I think it's about 2:30. Right after we started, a severe thunderstorm watch was issued for southern New England. We're right on the edge of it, and we've got a couple of cells. One on the left there to the west-southwest, and one just came right into Boston. Look at that wall of water over Boston. The lightning bolt just came right out of it. I'm gonna close in on that. Went over Wellesley about, I don't know, a half hour ago. Wind took down some trees on Route 20, power lines down in Wellesley. But now the downpour, seen on radar, missing me just to the north. An hour ago, I thought it was going to miss us to the south. Weather is hard. So I think the storm threat for the Boston area and right here is about done for the day after this blows through. May stay sticky and warm. There are those really fat raindrops. TCU, towering cumulonimbus. They reach way up into the sky above the freezing level. You can get some hail, no hail reported. But we did have one kind of miss us over in that direction. And the other one just skimming through here, and there are some raindrops blowing in the in-between part, but I think the rest of the day should turn quite nice here in Weymouth. That's my guess. They didn't even skip a beat. Just about 4 o'clock. It still feels like about 90 degrees here. Looking toward the north. TCU. That one does not look too violent right there. And then the backside of our departing thunderstorm now on the south shore. Let's go get another view of that from looking south instead of north. All right, now we're looking south. where most of the day had been sunny. You'd kind of expect that's where the heaviest storms would be, and sure enough, I just checked the radar. Oh man, it's lighting up from Narragansett Bay to Buzzards Bay. Storms strengthening south of Boston. Often they weaken south of Boston, but not today. As the backside. We had a monarch go by, but they're gone. And now, I'm not sure what they are, but there's another berries up there, and these birds are liking it. Are those grackle?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. And those berries are going to be fermenting, so you're going to have drunk birds here by September.
I've been watching them land on the railing, mowing down on the berries.
It's going to be red bird poop season for a while.
Jeez.
And then Doug calls these ones the attack birds, so he said.
Kamikaze birds.
The swallows.
They attack. They were supposedly, someone said there's a nest under the ramp.
Yeah, it seems like it right underneath the end of the walkway.
Sometimes they bother you, another time. Oh, coming in.
Get another bird. Now, I've had to learn the difference between a gray egret and a snowy heron. Viewers told me. This one has a yellow beak. Named on the bow of the jet stream. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be very cool. Yeah.
Rewind a little bit. All right, that was a great egret that did not land on the bow of the jet stream. And that's the one with the yellow bill. Hey, are you an egret? Are you an egret? Are you an egret? Yes, you are. Black bill, snowy egret. Got it. Much smaller than great egret. What's for dinner? Gull. Don't know what kind. Egret. Snowy. Clearly that first one was a great egret, and this one is a snowy egret. Got it? I got it. Going back over to the west-facing view. Watch that last shower decay over Boston. Have a sunset. It's time lapse. Lots of time lapse again today. TK time lapse. So what was that sailboat race that was out there in the water today?
That's Quincy Bay Race Week, which has been held for decades, and now it's a smaller event, but still happening, and mostly for the kids. And on Saturday there's a big boat race for the adults, and then a big party afterwards.
Did you participate that when you were younger?
I did.
What were you on?
One of those turnabouts. There's two types out there, fortunately.
All right, here I am telling the guys, oh yeah, it's gonna be a little sprinkle. Well, the radar says more than a little sprinkle. All of a sudden, another downpour has just developed, moving between Boston and North Weymouth right this second. Oh boy. It's tough getting that 5-minute forecast right sometimes. Yeah, looking at the radar, it just ramped up. So what was a severe thunderstorm warning 3 hours ago, nothing happened for us. Granted, that was a little north of us. And now we may actually get enough to make a puddle here in the next few minutes. Wow, coming right across Quincy. It's pretty to look at, isn't it? To leave the beach or not to leave the beach? Yeah, choosing to leave the beach. Kids in bathing suits don't really care, and the sun should be back out momentarily. Just a little bit of the rinse cycle happening here. There were a bunch of people on the beach 2 seconds ago, but this is only gonna last at like three minutes. Stop and shop door. So it's over. Will we rainbow or will we not rainbow? That is the next question. Just saw ever so faint a portion of a rainbow. It's already faded. You see it? And then it looks like another one trying to build right over us. It's gonna rain again, isn't it? Come on, let's try and get a 15-minute forecast right, can we? minutes later down the beach, a couple of groups stuck it out. Meanwhile, I'm just thinking of Animal House. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another? What a buoyant, bubbly atmosphere. It rains, the sun comes out. It's an updraft, then a downdraft, then another updraft, then another downdraft, and another updraft and downdraft. I hate to tell you, but this is like the 4th downpour of the day, and I don't think you're really gonna like it, but go ahead. What's that? Where you going? Is it possibly going to be done raining in a moment? Believe it or not, there's a couple more upstream in like Reading. Oh, what a tease. I want to fire up the grill. I'm gonna do it in the rain anyway. It's still 80 degrees outside. All right, the sun just was out. 3 minutes later, whoops, how was that, Rex? Did that hurt? I think it might have stopped again. Oh yeah. So now we're in the land of the crepuscular rays. What are crepuscular rays? Well, those are the shafts that the angels slide down. Oh, there's Brian. Oh, there's Malcolm. Oh, there's Ozzy. Yep, they're just shining down on us. Actually, it's Latin for of twilight, I believe. Crepuscular. And there is another downpour way out there north of Boston. That's gonna stay away, right? Because we're just about ready to call it a day. Those are called scud clouds right there, those really low ones. They look kind of threatening, scudding along. And Charlie's here. We haven't seen Charlie in quite a while. And he's looking sporty. Sporty weather. All right, I think we can fire the grill now. Maybe we won't get poured on again. Rex, it stopped raining. You can come out. Come on, Rex. And next up from the unexpected department is gusty wind from the northeast. All right. All it says to me is some kind of mezzo low just formed south of Boston. More and more and more. Yep, wind from the northeast, temperature in the 80s. I have a feeling this is going to be short-lived. Hey, how's the beer service over at Fenway Park tonight? Ha ha ha. Just had 10 more raindrops. Hey, there's that bird, Steve. It's the same bird from yesterday. You gonna try and catch it again? It's a catch and release program we've got going here, right? We catch it and we release it. Right? Right. All right, there's a slight chance that we're done with the downpours now. Steve behaving himself. He's got some cat mint. And just about ready to call it a day. I think I'll let the sun get a little lower and we'll play it out. Another long day of more and more and more. Oh yeah, that air from the northeast certainly did calm down. It's back from the southwest. And more, and more, and more. Howdy, neighbor. And next feat of strength by Mother Nature, the arcing, bowing shafts of rain with the air up in the sky moving fairly quickly toward the east and leaving the raindrops behind that are arcing down into Fenway Park. Where it's BYOB, right? So that is rain coming down, moving faster from the west up high than down low. Oh, and is anyone wondering what was on the grill? Stuffies. More and more and more. That's a yellow bill, right? That's a great egret, right? Almost done, almost done. So now there's some precipitation coming out of that cloud right there that's not reaching the ground, at least not this moment, but it's illuminated by the setting sun. So we're gonna start laying in some time lapse and some piano music now, but really wait until the sun gets to the horizon, see if we can. 7:59, Fropa, frontal passage. Extraordinary series of waves of energy. And now we can feel the dew point falling. Less humid air is coming in for about maybe 36 hours. It's gonna be really interesting. We still don't have a good grip on what's gonna happen on Sunday. But grateful for this just incredible Friday. Doug's pointing out, do you see that jet stream? Is that what you named your boat after? Well, a jet stream is something different than a condensation trail from a jet, but yes, I see them both. So there's still conditional instability way up in the sky. But over there at Fenway Park, where it's self-serve tonight. It's nothing but clear sky to the north. And the sun sparkle here. And remember, on the solstice, the sun was directly in line with the sailboat right there, the Yggdrasil. So the sun sparkle is moving in that direction, headed off for the autumn angle. And we are just loving this. Gorgeous. Wind from the northwest. Technically it's called cold air advection. Oh, did I say we were going to hear some piano music? And some time lapse? Oh yes. How about that? I mean, time lapse after time lapse after time lapse, but the full day time lapse of Weymouth with the multiple PM showers and the Quincy Bay sail week continuing tomorrow, which is now today. And also Cape Cod, right after the boat goes through the sun sparkle. Oh, Janet just came out. Next stop, not in a hurry, Sunday. Hoping we can say that about our Saturday also. Just gorgeous.